No, no, no. Enough now. Micah, mute up. It's a real on stage and it's still Virgo season. Enough. Enough. Juicy said it for me, but that's what I came out to Anoms to say. What is this, like some taboo? Like we not supposed to ask who wrote what when we know somebody's writing this? Like
But
what
Jill,
is the
you know
problem here?
what pushes her buttons.
I
You
don't give a
know.
about that lady's buttons. Listen, y'all, I almost
Okay,
wrote something
well,
mean
then
yesterday, but
don't
I
act
deleted
shocked when
it.
she
Okay,
thinks
one mic,
that
one
But I
mic.
deleted
you're
it
purposely
because
pushing her
I'm in a
buttons.
good mood and we feeling nice and it's a celebratory mood. But who give a about that lady feelings?
Okay, well, you finally said it, and she knows that that's how you feel instead of acting like oblivious
I
to.
don't give a about nobody feelings. This is a
Okay,
celebratory moment and you should honor the writers. Honor the writers. I'm honoring writers. That's not a slight to nobody.
okay. For rappers,
Enough now.
sometimes that's a slight.
Enough. You
For
don't
words,
write.
sometimes that's a
Enough.
slight.
Whoa.
You,
I will.
Okay.
Like,
Might
I don't understand why we can't talk
some
about it. Oh, you know
some
she's gonna feel away. Then write some.
Well, I'll stand.
What appears on its face as a dispute between an outspoken commentator and the fans of a superstar is often an index of deeper anxieties about creativity, ownership, reputation, and truth. This is the case with Joe Budden's decision to speak, bluntly and without deference, about Cardi B's use of collaborators in making of her music, and his subsequent refusal to bend under the waves of criticism that came crashing in from her defenders online. At the surface, the scene is familiar. A veteran voice in hip-hop, someone who has long since moved from the booth to the chair of cultural commentary, remarks on a topic that many already know, but few say aloud. That remark ignites the ire of a fiercely loyal fan base who read it as an attack on their idol. Then comes the counterattack, a live appearance in which Budden makes it clear that he will not apologize for raising a point about credit and authorship. Beneath that surface, however, runs a deep river of cultural meaning, the contested history of authorship in hip-hop, the politics of gender and recognition in a male-dominated industry, the ways fan communities defend their chosen figureheads, and enduring suspicion that lies at the heart of popular music, suspicion that the stagecraft of celebrity is built on invisible labor. To understand what Budden's moment illuminates, we must begin with the question of authorship itself. Hip-hop has long prided itself on lyrical authenticity. The MC was supposed to be both writer and performer, the one who lived the life, translated it into words, and delivered it in rhythm. The mythology of the culture is rooted in this figure, the street poet who draws on his or her own experience to craft narratives that slice through the noise of commercial life. To accuse someone of using writers is, in this mythology, to accuse them of fraudulence. And yet, the reality has always been far more complex. Collaborative writing has existed in hip-hop from its earliest days, just as it has in jazz, in R&B, in rock, and certainly in pop. Hooks are written by specialists. Verses are shaped in sessions with trusted peers. Producers tweak cadences, alter words, and mold performances. The solitary author genius has always been more fiction than fact. Budden knows this. He is not naive about the mechanics of the industry he once participated in as an artist and now critiques as a cultural commentator. His insistence on naming the use of writers is not born of ignorance but of principle. In his mind, credit matters. To pretend that certain songs emerge solely from the figurehead who performs them is to erase the work of those who contributed. For him, honoring writers is not an insult but an act of respect. A recognition that behind every chart-topping anthem lies a team of creatives who rarely bask in the spotlight. Why then did his words provoke such hostility? The answer lies in the politics of fandom and the gendered terrain of hip-hop celebrity. Cardi B is not merely an artist. She is a symbol, a representative figure who embodies a form of unapologetic femininity, Bronx resilience, and immigrant hustle. To her fans, she represents more than music. She represents survival, triumph, the possibility of transformation. Any comment that seems to reduce her achievement, any reminder that she, like most pop stars, works with collaborators, feels to those fans like a personal attack. The defense is instinctive and it is ferocious. Budden's decision to stand firm against that defense signals his refusal to participate in the unspoken contract of celebrity culture, the contract that says fans will defend the illusion if critics will politely ignore the backstage machinery. There's also the matter of gender. Hip-hop has, historically, been far harsher on women than on men when it comes to accusations of inauthenticity. Male rappers have long employed writers, often openly, without seeing their careers collapse. Yet when women in rap are suspected of using writers, the suspicion is weaponized against them in ways that cut more deeply, as if their entire legitimacy depends on the myth of solitary authorship. The double standard is glaring. Cardi B, by speaking openly about her collaborators in the past, has already acknowledged what is obvious. She works in a team. But the fact that Budden's commentary produced such a sharp reaction speaks to the lingering sexism of the culture. Fans feel compelled to protect her from accusations that they know are rooted in a history of holding women to a different standard. Budden, of course, is not primarily concerned with these fan anxieties. His concern is with the principle of credit. His live response made clear that he is less interested in coddling feelings than in speaking plainly about the mechanics of art. In his view, refusing to acknowledge writers is an insult to their craft. When a moment of celebration arises, a hit song, a viral anthem, he wants the writers to be honored alongside the performer. He is not playing the game of deference to celebrity fragility. For him, the truth is more important than the optics. This stance has broader resonance in our current cultural climate. We live in a time when questions of credit have erupted across industries. In film, debates rage about screenwriting versus directing credit. In fashion, designers and ateliers spar over who deserves recognition. In technology, engineers watch their labor erased by CEOs who become the face of innovation. The struggle over authorship is not unique to music. It is a structural feature of capitalism itself. Those who labor in the shadows often see their contributions consumed by figureheads whose fame obscures the collective work beneath. Budden's insistence on honoring writers is, in this sense, a small but significant stand against a larger culture of erasure. The backlash he faced also reveals something about the psychology of fandom. Fan communities today are not passive audiences. They are active defenders, armies mobilized at a moment's notice to protect their chosen icons from criticism. The intensity of this defense is rooted in identification. Fans see themselves in the star, and thus an attack on the star feels like an attack on them. To critique Cardi B's authorship is, in the eyes of her fans, to deny the legitimacy of their own attachment, their own investment in her triumph. This is why Budden's comments sparked such fury. The fans were not merely defending her reputation, they were defending their own sense of meaning. And yet Budden's refusal to retreat is also a reflection of his persona. He has built his career as a commentator on bluntness, on saying the unsayable, on puncturing illusions. His brand is honesty, or at least the performance of honesty, and so he cannot fold under pressure without betraying that brand. In this sense, the conflict was inevitable. His role is to press the uncomfortable truths that others avoid, and this moment was simply another stage for that performance.